So let's rank all the films I watched for the first time for the month of July 2025. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and I'm here with another ranking. Today, it's going to be my July 2025 first time watches. Yes, and I counted them all, didn't miss anything. I watched an overall total of 15 films. And again, like the last time, I'm gonna try and do my best to try to go rapid fire, so this way I won't take very much time on these, because I've reviewed most of these. Alright? Now, if you're ready, let's get on with the rankings. Sit back, relax, and here we go. Coming in at number 15 is In the Lost Lands, which came out earlier this year. Now, this film unfortunately bombed at the box office and is ranking as one of the worst films I've seen this year. While I appreciate having a little bit of a dark feel to it, and I mean, I did like Dave Bautista. Mila Jovovich was fine. I mean, in this film directed by her husband, Paul W.S. Anderson. But I feel like it just wasn't great enough. It's just the rest of some of the things and characters I've seen just wasn't that great. I mentioned this film in a recent, oh, how should I say this? Recent main reviews vid. So, yeah, yeah, the film was alright, but it wasn't great though. I think this is one film you should just completely stay away from. I appreciate having a little bit of good action though. That was one thing that was decent enough about this. Now coming at number 14 is Until Dawn. Now this is a recent horror film based on the video game of the same name. Well, I will say it's a real fright fest of a terror tale to be based off of a video game. But however, I will say it might not have been one of the greats. But I did appreciate it having a little reverse in time thing, kind of like what we got with our films, like the Happy Death Day films. I explained about that in my meme reviews vid that featured this film. But overall, its story's alright, and I did like David F. Sandberg's direction of being the director of this and what have you. So overall, Until Dawn, it's kind of a mixed bag, but it was still a pretty scary type film for some parts because it had some pretty good kills. And coming in at number 13 is The Smurfs and the Magic Flute from 1975. Now, this, of course, was just released in Europe originally, but didn't come to us until the about early 80s, 1983, just after the Hanna-Barbera cartoon actually made it big on Saturday mornings. Well, while it may not have as many of the titular characters that we know of, we don't see them until later on, but I really don't want to get into too much story. But we do have Jan and Peewit in the film, although I saw the British, well, them with the British dub and what have you, the British English dub. Yeah, they use different names, so yeah. This film's pretty easy to find. At least I took my chance in watching this along with the live action Smurfs films and the Smurfs in the Lost Village films and not see that kind picking new film, which I am going to watch when it comes to Paramount Plus. But The Smurfs and the Magic Flute, it's a nice little film. Next at number 12 is Son of Flubber from 1963. Now, this, of course, is the sequel to The Absent Minded Professor, which, of course, I have yet to review that, but I'm going to down the road, though. Well, apparently, the titular character of the of this press to the predecessor of this. Well, Professor Brainerd, well, has become a big one, but he has run into a pile of misfortunes despite his discovery of flubber. And now he's developed flubber gas, which is a gravity busting derivative. Helps to have better luck with. Anyway, the film's not bad. I mean, Fred MacMurray's still good. I mean, but I only watched it because I wanted to see Keenan win as Alonzo Hawk, who, of course, he would reprise that character later on, about over a decade later in Herbie Rides Again. Well, it's almost as good as its predecessor, but not 110% though. Son of Flubber, well, it's a nice little film. And coming in at number 11 is Death of a Unicorn. Now, this film I recently did this in a mini reviews video. This was the last one I did, along with Until Dawn. I will say this film's pretty crazy and what have you, but it did have some pretty good kills though and what have you. I did like the performances from some of the cast like Paul Rudd. It was pretty surprising to see Will Poulter from the Maze Runner and the Third Chronicles of Narnia flick in this. Richard E. Grant's in this. Téa Leoni's in this, but it was really Jenna Ortega who I really loved in this. It's really a pretty good film. Maybe not great, but still a pretty fun film because, well, unicorns aren't too bad of being mythical type creatures. But once you see one on the road, I don't know what to tell you. Watch my mini reviews, Vin, and I'll tell you what I thought more about this. So I'm gonna try and keep this and go on to the next film. Coming in at number 10 is Drop. Now, this is a recent Blumhouse film. I included this in a main reviews video with the two other previous films from that company yet came out before this, which were Wolfman and Woman in the Yard. I will say, I think of those three, this was pretty decent. What have you about Will Murder on her first 8 years, who is relieved that her date is more charming and handsome than she expected when she arrives at an upscale restaurant. But their chemistry begins to curdle as the woman begins being irritated and terrorized by a series of anonymous drops to her phone. I will say this is kind of like seeing a modern day Hitchcock film. Christopher Landon, who directed the Freaky and the Happy Death Day films, was involved in this. I'll say he did pretty good. You can hear more of my thoughts about this in the main reviews vid. Check it out. And coming in at number 9 is The Barefoot Executive from 1971. Now, this is a Disney film that features a young Kurt Russell. Now, of course, it wasn't his first film. This was just after he did the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. And actually, he's pretty good in this. Of course, his co star from that film, Joe Flynn's in this as well. And also Heather North, who, of course, you may remember, one of the main gals who voiced Daphne on Scooby Doo, is in this, and Wally Cox, the voice of Underdog, and Harry Morgan from MASH is in this. Robert Butler, who also helmed the direction of the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes and several other films, directed this. I'll say he did a pretty good job. Anyway, this is a film about a mailroom clerk at a TV network, and well, apparently he's about to make it big with a, his girlfriend's pet, a chimpanzee, who can decide which show's doing pretty well on television. That's kind of funny. I'll talk more about this when I review it sometime down the road. Next up at number 8 is Dora and the Search for Soldorado. Now, this is a film that recently premiered on Nick and also Paramount Plus. This, of course, is the second live action film to feature Dora the Explorer, now grown up. And well, she, along with cousin Diego and new friends, trek through the perilous dangers of the Amazonian jungle in search of the ancient and powerful treasure of Soldorado to keep it out of enemy hands. Well, as much as I liked the theatrical film Dora and the Lost City of Gold, this one comes pretty close in my view. I really liked Samantha Lorraine, who played Dora. She was pretty good. Jacob Rodriguez as Diego. Yeah, pretty good in my view. I'm gonna say this has a pretty decent cast. Although I was surprised to hear Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias as the voice of Boots, though. So, anyway, I found Dora and the Search for Solar Royale to be a fun thrill ride. Check out my spoiler free review if you haven't seen it yet. Next at number 7 is Happy Gilmore 2. Now, this new film's on Netflix, and, well, I will say it's almost as good as the first, but it might have some issues, but I didn't mind them. Now, I did mention in a post that I mentioned, I failed to talk about Happy's new caddy in the film. Now, I talked about everyone else. Adam Sandler was still good as Happy, and Christopher McDonald's back as Shooter McGavin. Yay, not too bad. Uh, Benny Safdie as Frank Manatee, yeah. We have Ben Stiller back as the character Hal L. But here's the one I failed to talk about. The international rapper known as Bad Bunny, and he plays Happy's new caddy, Oscar. And I've got to say, he's a character in YFU, a real card. Oh, yeah. But I liked his performance as well. So, I know I've been getting word from people that they're not really impressed with this, but hey, as always, we're entitled to our own opinions. Thank you. But Happy Gilmore 2, it wasn't too bad. I've just seen a report they're talking about doing a third one, but we'll see what happens. We don't want to really jump too far or get ahead of ourselves yet. Okay, but Happy Gilmore 2, it's not too bad. I actually found it to be pretty entertaining. And coming in at number 6 is Disney's Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires. Wow, now I actually enjoyed this a little more than the last one, but this is very good. I mean, we have McDonnelly and Milo Manheim back as Zed and Addison. A few others are back. And well, their road trip takes an unexpected detour, and well, they land in the middle of yet another monster rivalry: Daywalkers versus vampires. I gotta say, this is a fun film. I think this one really took the cake, and I think the music was very good. The choreography was good. And I think a lot of this had a lot to offer, as much as the other three films. This one took a more serious turn, unlike the first three films. But Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, it's awesome. It's so far currently the most viewed video on my channel for this month. I think it might get the gold big D, but stay tuned for my scheduled vid tomorrow and we'll see what happens. So Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires is pretty good. Check out my spoiler review if you haven't seen it yet. And coming in at number 5 is The Cheerleaders from 1973. Now, I didn't know what to expect from this, but I gotta say, this was freaking sweet in some parts and what have you, with especially with the titular characters. I absolutely thought they were all absolutely really, really good in this. I mean, and with all the hot stuff and craziness, this was the most craziest 70s film I had seen in the last few years since the Kentucky Fried Movie. But that's but this film came out before that, you know. Yeah. A group of cheerleaders are designed to show their school spirit for their football team, but well, sleeping with the opponents the night before the game so that they can be so worn out the opposition won't be able to play. Yeah. Anyway, this had a whole lot of hotness in it, but if you catch my drift. But anyway, the cheerleaders I found to be pretty funny and entertaining. I'll have to watch the other ones though. But anyway, that was good. I don't know if those sequels will match up to it, but we'll see what happens. I might review this sometime down the road. Now, coming in at number 4 is K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, this is a new Netflix film produced along with Sony Pictures Animation. Yes, they're finally back after some time. And of course, I know they got a new, well, traditionally animated R-rated film coming up next month called Fixed. But I also saw the trailer for their next film coming to theaters called Ghost. But back to this one, K-pop Demon Hunters. This is gotten good reviews. Now I've yet to review this. Well, it's about this trio of girls who may not be, who are actually demon hunters. When they're not selling out stadiums, they're using their secret powers to protect their fans from supernatural threats. I've gotta say, the casting is pretty good. The action's pretty good. I thought the film was just so colorful in some spots. But I'll tell you more about this if I decide to do a spoiler-free review of this later on. I've got most of August booked already, but rest assured I will try and review this soon. K-pop Demon Hunters is pretty good. Oh yeah, it also has some good tunes as well. I actually did like that as well. This is a very good animated film. You need to check this film out. Next up at number 3 is Sinners. Now, this, of course, is a recent hit film from earlier this year where it stars Michael B. Jordan as twin brothers who return to their hometown to start over again as they try to leave their troubled lives behind, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. I gotta say, I enjoyed this. This was really good. I've already done a spoiler-free review of this. Check it out if you haven't. Ryan Coogler does a great job with his direction. I like the performances from a lot of the cast. Haley Steinfeld was pretty good. Oh, just about everyone in this was pretty good. So, anyway, Sinners is really a great film, period film, with a little horrifying twist in it. Definitely. Now for the final two. This wasn't quite much of a tough decision because we got two great superhero flicks that just made it big at the box office already. So coming in at number 2 is The Fantastic Four First Steps. Now, this is the newest installment of the MCU, and I think it's the best Fantastic Four movie we've gotten yet. I absolutely love this and what have you. I should point out it does have a little bit of a slowdown with the action, but hey, I'm fine with it and what have you. I'm and at least I'm glad it didn't take too much of a look at the origin, what have you. But still, I love the 60s retro style, futuristic atmosphere of the film. The cast was great. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Yvonne Moss Backrack, and Joseph Quinn. They were great as the titular characters, and I loved Julia Garner. She did good as Silver Surfer. Paul Walter Hauser was pretty good. Ralph Ineson as Galactus. Yeah, really good. I thought this film was a fantastic blast. Check out my spoiler free review of this if you haven't seen it yet. I know I haven't checked a lot of my friends' reviews. Of some of my friends' reviews I've checked out, I'm rather disappointed. A lot of y'all have not talked about Herbie. How disappointing. But don't worry. I'm not trying, not that I'm trying to be rude to you or anything. You gotta give the little guy a little respect, you know. Excuse me. Or not. Again, I do owe y'all a grave apology. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was trying to get y'all to show some respect for Herbie the Robot. It was pretty cool to see him in this. Not too bad of a character. But if the 4 is in second place, then you know that this means my number one first time watch of 2025. My top pick just happens to be number one is Superman. Wow, this was a good film, a good way to start off the new DCU from James Gunn, who also directed and wrote the story for this. He does an exceptionally good job, and he managed to pull it off with this. Definitely. I enjoyed just about a lot of this. The action, the adventure, the thrills was absolutely good. The atmosphere was good. David Cornsweet absolutely nails it as Superman. Rachel Brosnahan is absolutely good as Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult is good as Lex Luthor. I gotta give him credit for that. I liked all the other characters we saw. Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, aka Green Lantern. Hawk Girl was a good one. Oh wow! Oh, the list could go on. This had a great cast, and of course, we can't forget Crypto, the super dog. I gotta say, he was absolutely very good in this as well. So anyway, check out my spoiler free if you haven't seen it yet. I thank y'all for making this a very good, well, highly reviewed. Well, I'm getting tongue tied here. A very high review. High. Here I go again. Let me start over. Thanks for making this a highly viewed video on my channel. Thank you. So there you have it. Superman is my top pick for first time watches of July 2025. So there you go. What films have you watched for the first time in July 2025? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel because I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Last time I checked, I'm less than 30 subscribers away from 1,000. Now, for in the comments, you can leave me your top first time watch of July 2025. You can give me your top 3, top 5, whatever. It depends on you, okay? And next time will be my August 2025 schedule, which I've almost got completed. I still need to work on it a little, but you know. So if you like this, check out these top the top films here in this ranking. Actually, I will go ahead and give you the top 3. In the upper left-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of Superman. The upper right-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of Fantastic Four, First Steps, and the bottom left-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of Sinners. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guide. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.